Okay, let's dive right in. We are looking at a huge one today, the 2025 Roland Garros men's final. Carlos Alcaraz versus Jannik Sinner. I mean, the buzz around this match was just immense, wasn't it? Even other players were tuning in.
Oh, absolutely. It felt like more than just a final. It had that air of, maybe the start of something really big, a new era potentially.
Right. And we've got a bunch of sources here, articles, live updates that really captured that anticipation, the build-up, and then the drama as it happened on court.
Yeah, so our job really is to sift through all that, pull out the key bits from these sources, and try to understand, what made this match tick, what were the dynamics, the big moments, the significant, just based on what we have here.
Okay, so let's set the stage first. The context coming in. What did the sources say about their history?
Well, the head-to-head overall, Alcaraz was actually ahead, 7-4. But maybe more importantly, psychologically perhaps, he'd won their last 4 matches straight since 2023.
4 in a row. Wow. And some significant ones too, right? On clay.
Exactly. He beat Sinner in Rome, the Masters event there, just the month before. And they'd played in the semifinals here at Roland Garros the year before, 2024. And Alcaraz won that one too.
So that recent clay record, you'd think that gives Alcaraz a bit of an edge, mentally at least.
For sure. That was the perception mentioned.
Yeah.
And you could just feel the weight of it in their comments beforehand. Alcaraz, he kept it quite simple, said something like, a really great Sunday for the fans of tennis. Almost like he knew it was a big show.
And Sinner, he'd just gotten to world number 1, first Roland Garros final.
Yeah, he seemed very aware of the moment. He said, the stage doesn't get any bigger now, and then Grand Slam finals against Carlos, it's a special moment. He even talked about rivalries, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Something like tennis or every sport needs rivalries. No, this could be potentially one of these. Really highlighting what everyone was thinking.
Definitely. And the sources, they really dug into their playing styles too, both super high intensity, obviously.
Right, but different flavors of intensity.
Sort of, yeah. Sinner was described as the one who takes the ball so early. Hits hard, flat, loves pace. Djokovic actually commented on that after Sinner beat him in the semis.
Oh yeah, what did Novak say?
Said Sinner loves to play in very fast pace the entire match. Called him very physical, very fit, and just striking the ball incredibly well. High praise.
And Alcaraz. Still fast, but maybe more suited to clay?
That's the general idea highlighted, yeah. Bit more variety, maybe uses the court craft a bit more. Plus, he was the defending champ. He won Monte Carlo in Rome that spring.
Big clay titles.
Big ones. And Alcaraz apparently likes the best of 5 format. Feels it gives him time to, ride the ups and downs, impose his pace over the long haul. He seemed ready for a battle.
Interesting contrast there. And their paths to the final were different too, weren't they?
Completely different. Sinner, top seed, hadn't dropped a single set the whole tournament. Just like steamrolled everyone. One source called it a steamroller effect.
Including Djokovic in the semis. Straight sets. That must have sent a message.
Oh, huge message. Andy Roddick apparently noted Sinner went straight through him, which, rarely happens to Novak, especially Sinner dominating the middle of the court like that.
Okay, so Sinner's looking untouchable. What about Alcaraz? Seeded number 2, defending champ.
His route was a bit bumpier. Had a couple of 4-setters earlier on against Shelton and Zoomer. Then his semifinal ended with a walkover from Musetti.
Ah, right. But he was already well ahead then.
Yeah, he'd won the first 3 sets. One was a tiebreak, one was 6-0. So it showed he could still find that dominant gear, even if he'd had tougher matches overall.
So you've got the irresistible force in Sinner versus the maybe the more battle-hardened champion in Alcaraz.
Exactly. And the experts were buzzing. Mats Wilander was quoted saying it was their first major final, hoped for many more, called their matches the best tennis matches in terms of quality, high pace, anticipation. He slightly favored Alcaraz because of that Rome win.
And what about Sinner's coach, Cahill?
Darren Cahill had a really interesting take. He felt Alcaraz breaking through earlier actually spurred Sinner on, made him work on his physicality for these long 5-setters.
Ah, so they push each other even when they're not playing.
That was the idea. And apparently, Sinner's recent time off then pushed Alcaraz to improve his game too. It's this constant cycle.
That's fascinating. And Cahill also mentioned they're friendly off court.
Yeah, he said they're mates, they chat in the locker room,
Yeah.
seem to genuinely enjoy each other's company. He contrasted it with like Agassi and Sampras, who were maybe a bit more distant.
Interesting. Though Djokovic pumped the brakes a bit on the rivalry talk.
He did, yeah. Basically said, look, it's early days. You need to see them competing like this for at least 10 plus years nonstop before you start comparing them to the all-time great rivalries. Bit of perspective there.
Fair enough. But still, the historical markers were impossible to ignore.
Totally. Called a potential symbolic starting point for their era. And get this, the first major final ever between two players born in the 2000s.
Wow. That feels significant.
It does. And individually.
Yeah.
Alcaraz was going to be the youngest back-to-back Roland Garros champ since Nadal if he won.
Huge footsteps to follow.
Massive. And Sinner, he was aiming to be the first Italian man to win here since Panatta way back in 76. And the youngest guy to win 3 slams in a row since Sampras in the early 90s.
Incredible stakes. And they both came in unbeaten in major finals.
Yep. Alcaraz 4-0, Sinner 3-0. Perfect records on the line. I mean, the stage couldn't have been set any better, really.
Okay, so that's the buildup. Incredible anticipation. Let's get to the match itself. How did it actually start, according to the live updates? Sinner served first.
He did. And right from the off, it was clear this was going to be a grind. That very first game took 12 minutes. 12.
Yeah.
Sinner held eventually for 1-0.
A statement of intent from both, maybe.
Definitely. And the first set was just like that intense trading. Alcaraz levels 1-1. Sinner holds 2-1. Then Alcaraz gets a break, holds, goes up 3-2.
Okay, momentum swing.
Looked like it, but Sinner broke straight back. Held again for 4-3 Sinner. Then Alcaraz holds 4-4. Sinner holds for 5-4. Just really tight.
Wow. So who blinked first?
Well, Sinner managed to clinch that first set, 6-4. Huge blow landed.
And did that carry over? Did he keep the pressure on in the second?
Oh, did he ever? Came out absolutely firing. Broke Alcaraz early, raced out to a 3-0 lead. The reports at this stage were saying it was just, total domination by Sinner.
Alcaraz struggling, making errors.
Yeah, looked a bit lost, apparently. Sinner was dictating everything. He pushed that lead out to 5-2. It really looked like he was cruising to a 2-set lead.
Okay, 5-2 down, 2 sets potentially gone. This is where Alcaraz needed to show something, right?
Exactly. And he did. He held serve for 5-3.
Yeah.
Then somehow he found another gear, broke Sinner back to make it 5-5.
Whoa. Okay, big shift. You could probably feel it in the stadium.
Absolutely. The sources mentioned the momentum just swung. Alcaraz hitting bigger, cleaner. And the crowd on Chatrier, they apparently got really loud properly behind him. Electric atmosphere.
So it goes to a tiebreak then?
It did. Despite that amazing fight back from Alcaraz, Sinner managed to steady himself in the breaker. He won at 7-4.
Ah, okay. So Sinner takes a 2-sets-to-love lead after all. How did he manage that after Alcaraz came back?
The report suggested Sinner stayed patient. Maybe capitalized on a few lingering errors from Alcaraz in that crucial tiebreak. Mm-hmm. But yeah, commanding 2-0 lead for Sinner.
Right. 2 sets up, hasn't lost a set all tournament. Must be feeling pretty good. And then the third set starts.
And Sinner breaks Alcaraz again. First game of the third set goes up 1-0. At this point, you're really thinking, okay, this could be over quite quickly now. It felt like the final nail, maybe?
You would think so. But Alcaraz, he just wouldn't go away, would he?
Not at all. He broke Sinner right back immediately. Made it 1-1. Just refused to let Sinner consolidate that break. Real resilience.
Okay, that's big. Did that signal another shift?
It really did seem to.
Yeah.
Alcaraz then held his own serve, and then, crucially, he broke Sinner again to go up 3-1. Now he had the momentum in the third.
And Sinner, was he looking okay?
Maybe. Just maybe. Starting to look a little fatigued. That's what some reports hinted at. After cruising for so long, maybe the fight back was taking its toll. Alcaraz held again for 4-1.
And the rallies, were they changing?
Yeah, sources mentioned Alcaraz was now winning more of the shorter points, the ones Sinner had been bossing earlier. Things were definitely turning.
Sinner holds to make it 4-2. Alcaraz holds for 5-2. Then Sinner holds again for 5-3. So Alcaraz serving for the set. Still some pressure there.
For sure. Sinner's return game and backhand, which were so key early on, maybe weren't quite at that same level, but he wasn't done yet.
He wasn't, was he? What happened at 5-3?
Just when you thought Alcaraz would serve it out, Sinner dug in again, found something extra, broke Alcaraz back, made it 5-4, back on serve.
Wow. That's huge from Sinner, too. Shows his fight.
Absolutely. Called a crucial aspect of the match in one report. Just finding that resolve when he really, really needed it.
But Alcaraz had the final answer in that set.
He did. He didn't let that setback rattle him. He immediately broke Sinner again in the next game to take the third set 6-4.
Massive moment. Sinner finally loses a set in the tournament. First time since Australia.
Exactly. Huge psychological boost for Alcaraz, you'd imagine. Crowd going wild. Momentum completely with him now.
Okay, so 2-1 for Sinner, but Alcaraz clearly has the wind in his sails, sets up a massive fourth set. How did that one start?
It was tense right away. They traded holds. Alcaraz 1-0, Sinner 1-1, Alcaraz 2-1, Sinner 2-2, Alcaraz 3-2. Every single game felt huge. Neither giving an inch.
Okay, KG start. Who made the first move?
It was Sinner.
Yeah.
He managed to break Alcaraz to go up 4-3. Suddenly, after weathering that storm in the third, Sinner was potentially just 2 service holds away from the championship.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the pressure flips right back onto Alcaraz.
Massive pressure. And then Sinner held his serve for 5-3, 1 game away. Championship points were now, a real possibility in the next game.
Tension must have been off the charts. Reports say Alcaraz looked like it might be slipping away.
Yeah, some updates mentioned he looked like it might be a lost cause at that point. Sinner serving for the title at 5-3.
But this is where it gets crazy, right? Sinner serving for the match.
Absolutely insane drama. Alcaraz faces championship points. Down 5-3, 40-15 or similar, staring defeat in the face.
And he saves them. How many?
He saved 3 match points in that one game. 3.
Unbelievable. How?
The descriptions were amazing. One point, Alcaraz apparently hit this screaming forehand down the line, just bang the chalk. On the others, Sinner made errors, maybe nerves, hit one long, netted another.
Crowd must have gone absolutely ballistic.
Erupted, apparently. They sensed history, that fight back. Alcaraz fought through deuce, battled off those 3 match points, and somehow held serve for 5-4. He showed incredible, stones, as one report put it, defying the odds.
Saving 3 championship points changes everything mentally. What happened next? Sinner serving again at 5-4?
The momentum shift was seismic. Riding that huge wave of adrenaline and relief, Alcaraz just went for it. He broke Sinner's serve. Broke him to level the 4th set at 5-5.
No way. After being match points down.
Incredible. Incredible turnaround, back on serve. The title that looked within Sinner's grasp just moments before was suddenly up for grabs again.
So Alcaraz serves at 5-5.
And he held. Held serve to go up 6-5 in the 4th set. Now the pressure was completely reversed. Suddenly, Sinner was serving just to stay in the set, to force a 5th set decider.
The swings in this match are just unreal. Was the sportsmanship still good?
Apparently brilliant. There was a moment mentioned where Sinner actually overruled a call that went against Alcaraz, gave him the point. Class act under that pressure.
Good to hear. But Alcaraz had the momentum.
Completely. He surged ahead in that next game. Sinner eventually netted a ball, and Alcaraz had done it. He'd won the game to take the lead 6-5.
Wait, is that where the sources stop before the end of the set?
That's where our live sources seem to cut off, yeah. Right at that absolutely critical juncture. Alcaraz leading 6-5 in the 4th after saving those 3 match points. We've seen this epic journey through Sinner's dominance. Alcaraz's comeback, the 3rd set win for Carlos, and then that just jaw-dropping turnaround in the 4th.
Wow. Okay, so we don't have the final result from these specific sources, but what a picture they paint. The sheer drama, the quality, the mental fortitude on display from both guys.
Absolutely. Even without knowing the final score from this batch of info, it's crystal clear why this match felt so significant. It had everything. Talent, tactical shifts, huge psychological battles. It really backs up that idea of this being a defining rivalry in the making.
It really does. And thinking about everything we've just unpacked, Cahill's point about how they push each other to get better, and then seeing these incredible momentum swings, Alcaraz saving match points like that, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Based on this kind of epic encounter, what do you think is the absolute most crucial mental quality someone needs to not just hang in there, but actually thrive in a rivalry that intense, playing matches like this over, say, the next 10 years? Something to ponder after hearing about the drama these sources laid out.